Hello friends, how are you? I wanted to share with you one of my favorite stories, and it's called Thundercake. It's written by Patricia Polacco, and it is a story about a little girl and her grandmother, and they are on the grandmother's farm, and the little girl is very nervous about a thunderstorm that is coming, and the grandma teaches her a great strategy to deal with that thunderstorm, and also shows the little girl how she truly is actually a very brave little girl so that she can handle the thunderstorm. So join me in listening to Thundercake. On sultry summer days at my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. We had a lot of that last week. Storm clouds drift low over the fields. Birds fly close to the ground. The clouds glow for an instant with a sharp crackling light. And then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in their panes. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house. Babushka, as I used to call my grandmother, had come from Russia years before, but I feared Michigan's summer storms. I feared the sound of thunder more than anything. I always hid under my bed when a storm moved near the farmhouse. This is the story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me to overcome my fear of thunderstorms. I wonder how they're going to do that. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is thundercake baking weather, all right. Looks like a storm coming to me." So she sees the storm clouds off in the distance and maybe even the rain that comes with it. "Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing," my grandma said. The air was hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thundercake today." "Thundercake?" I stammered as I hugged her even closer. "Don't pay attention to that old thunder except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand?" she asked. "We need to know how far away the storm is so we have time to make the cake and get it into the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be real thundercake." Her eyes surveyed the black clouds off in the distance. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. "Let's find that recipe, child," she crowed as she lovingly fingered grease-stained pages to a creased spot. "Here it is, thundercake." She carefully penned the ingredients on a piece of notepaper. "Now, let's gather all the things we need," she exclaimed as she scurried towards the back door. We were by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting like Grandma told me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles. It's 10 miles away, Grandma said as she looked at the sky. "About an hour away, I'd say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather them eggs careful like," she said. Eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhen? I was scared. I knew she would try and peck me. "I'm here. She won't hurt you. Just get them eggs," Grandma said softly. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I counted. 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. Milk was next. Milk from old Kick Cow. As Grandma milked her, Kick Cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She was so big. Zip went the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I counted. Baroom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, Grandma croaked. Now we have to get chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through tangleweed woods to the dry shed. Suddenly, lightning slit the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom, ba-boom, crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with Grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crackle, crackle, boom, kaboom, the thunder bellowed. It was dark and I was scared. I'm here, child, Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hurry now, we haven't got much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient. What could that be? A secret ingredient in a thunder cake? 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed up high on the trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked strawberries. Lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I counted. Kabang, boo, aroom, the thunder growled. Seems like as the storm is getting closer, it's getting louder. I skipped a page. We hurried back to the house and the warm kitchen, and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into cake pans and put them in the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3, and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said. The cake is in the oven. We made it. We have real thunder cake. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out for a long time. Why, you aren't afraid of thunder. You're too brave, she said, as she looked right at me. I am not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got out from under it, and you got eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhen. You got milk from old Kick Cow. You went through tangleweed woods to the dry shed. You climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a very brave person could have done all those things. I thought and thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. Brave people can't be afraid of sound, child, she said, as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried to the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. Just then, the lightning flashed. This time, it lit the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder rolled. So she wasn't even able to count. The thunder rolled, boomed, crash, baroom, boom, boomed above us. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooed, just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on top of the thunder cake. As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. She poured us steaming cups of tea from the samovar. When the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboards, we just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. So Grandma Babushka taught her not to be afraid of the storm. And the author even includes the recipe right here so that if you wanted to, you could make your own thunder cake with your family the next time that we have a summer thunderstorm. And maybe that will let you know how brave you are and that we don't need to be afraid of sound, that it's just weather. All right, take care, friends. Thanks for joining me.